The shoe assembly consists of the shoe, the bevel quadrant, the blade height adjustment bracket, and the rear pivot. Most problems with the shoe assembly are the result of accidental damage. If the saw is dropped or something falls on it, the shoe can be bent, the quadrant can be cracked, or the height adjustment bracket can be bent. Replacing the shoe assembly is a repair that you can do yourself, and I'm going to show you how.
Hi, I'm Mark Socha.
Do-it-yourself repairs like these are easier than you might think. From lawn machines to cordless drills, kitchen mixers,
Outdoor grills.
our how-to videos walk you through each repair from start to finish. So doing it yourself means never having to do it alone.
Let's get started.
I'll begin by removing the old shoe assembly from the saw. I'll loosen the nut that secures the pivot screw. Then I'll use a hex wrench socket to loosen the screw. At the front of the saw, I'll loosen the knob and remove it. I'll let the bolt fall through the back. And I'll remove this screw that secures the bracket to the upper guard. Be careful not to lose the tension spring. Now remove the adjustment screw that sets the saw to 90 degrees. I'll loosen the nut and remove the screw. Now remove the pointer. And the bevel lock knob and bolt. I'll remove the lock nut on the rear pivot. Now I can begin installing the new shoe assembly. I'll replace some of the parts that we took off of the old one. The bevel lock knob, the pointer, the 90-degree stop, I'll leave this loose for now as we'll need to go back and set it, and the lock nut on the pivot. Now I'll place the lock washer on the rear pivot bolt and realign the saw motor to the base. I'll pull the guard, the lower guard, up and out of the way so I have more movement between the two pieces. Once they're aligned, I'll tighten up the bolt. I'll tighten this up until the lock washer just contacts both the nut and the housing. That'll do. Now reinstall the front lock knob. The bolt threads in from behind. And I'll leave this knob loose for now. Now I'll pull the lower blade guard back and lower the upper guard down until the guard is in alignment with the bracket. And now I can replace the screw and tension spring. I'll tighten up the front lock knob And on the back of the saw, tighten the lock nut. Now we'll reset the 90-degree stop. I'll tip the saw on its side and pull the lower blade guard back. I'll place a small square onto the blade and against the base. Make sure that the bevel adjustment screw is loose, and now adjust this screw until the base is square. That looks good, so now I'll hold the screw in place with a screwdriver and tighten the lock nut. And last, I'll set the pointer to 0. And that's all it takes to replace the shoe assembly on your circular saw. Be sure to check back often for new videos and expert advice. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up.